This week on Staples InTents, we show you all how we prepare our food for our camping trips.
We're gonna eat this one night when we're camping. I started with lemon and dill. So I have the salmon here and I just season it with some salt and pepper. And then I'm going to use honey and whole grain mustard. I felt like the sweetness and spiciness of the mustard and honey would go well with carrots here. Salt, pepper, mustard. You don't need a lot of mustard. And then just kind of massage it into it.
What kind of mustard is it?
Madison Street, whole grain, Dijon mustard. No clue where it came from. We're not big yellow mustard people.
So Sonia's working on the salmon. Over here we got some ground turkey. We plan to make some burgers with it. So we'll probably season that up. That's going to be really good. And then right here will be my lamb chop. Our food preparation normally takes anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour. We'll start out with the basic menu, figure out the amount and the quantity, which is how much she's going to eat, how much I'm going to eat, which meals we're going to cook, which will be breakfast and dinner normally. And then we'll go through, prepare it, and then get ready to freeze it.
So I am prepping food for the weekend. Dakota is taking a lamb chop, which he seasoned with salt and pepper. We have two turkey burgers with just some onion, salt, pepper, and other stuff. And then Dakota showed you this earlier, it's just salmon, has salt, pepper, honey, and mustard. So I was watching a YouTube video the other day. You know how you vacuum seal food? And they showed this video. So I'm gonna try it for the first time today. I just have a pot of water.
It's super cool, dude.
I don't know if it's gonna work though, so we're gonna try. If it works, Dakota's right, it's super cool. So I just zip the bag almost all the way and just leave a little bit of space there. And then drop it slowly in the water. And supposedly, the pressure of the water will seal around the meat.
So what it's supposed to do is draw out all of the air. So you end up with a makeshift vacuum inside of the bag with no air. And of course, that means your food can last a lot longer. And when you're going camping, that's like super important to make sure that you can preserve your food for as long as possible. Yeah?
It works pretty darn good.
Super cool, dude, super cool. And of course, obviously you could use this for even at your house if you're just trying to preserve some food. You're gonna stick it in the freezer for a while. This is a really good way to do it as opposed to like trying to compress all of the air out and, still having air in there. This right here guarantees pretty much that you have a vacuum kind of seal over the entire bag.
That one's not as good as the other one, but better than it was when I just pushed the air out. And then we'll try this last one, the turkey burgers. A little bit of whole. And maybe I'm going too fast. Maybe this is me being impatient. I don't know. The first one's gonna work okay. You have to cook when you're out, but you also have to cook when you're home. So it's like you have to cook double the meals. At least prep double the meals. But it works because when you go out, you don't have to do any prepping. Pour this water out. I should have watered a plant or something with it, but whatever.
And another pretty, good thing about this whole experience is, like Sonia said, you do a lot of the food prep. We do have friends that would prefer to do the prep out at the site. Ain't mad at them. Ain't mad at you. It's really whatever floats your boat and makes your camping experience like cool. If you like doing it out there, that's cool. We prefer to do all of our prep work at home, where we know the kitchen is clean, the utensils are, we got all of our little tools that we use. And show them the tools, baby. Show them the tool. What tool you using right now?
A pillar?
A pillar. So we wouldn't take a pillar out into the woods unless we're gonna peel a tree. Why would we do that? So we try to use all of the tools that we have, because that's fun in and of itself. And then when we get out there, we can really just focus on making food as quickly as possible.
I'm a lazy camper, and although it's more work beforehand, I would rather do the work ahead of time. Tomorrow and Saturday and Sunday morning, when we're out in the woods, I can just literally throw the food on the fire. You know, I have pre-made burgers, pre-made lamb steak for Dakota, pre-prep, not necessarily pre-made, but all this stuff is pre-prep. The carrots, I'm peeling them now. I'm gonna rinse them off, and then I'll slice them. So all I have to do is throw them on the grill. I'm gonna throw a little salt and pepper on them. Maybe not much salt, but more pepper. And I'm gonna put some ginger powder. I did that the other day, and they were the bomb. I don't know if you guys do like the sweet and spicy thing, but ginger with the sweetness of the carrots is absolutely amazing. Ginger is one of my favorite spices. I can eat it like anytime. So we're gonna have some grilled carrots. I've never grilled a carrot before, but I figure if I cook it on the stove, then I can cook it on the fire.
She means Dakota can cook it on the fire.
Yeah, like I don't ever cook on the fire. Is that what you're saying, Dakota?
Exactly what I'm saying.
I have pictures. I was sauteing shrimp. I won't let him hear me say that either, because he might get offended. We both cook on the fire. I think we share responsibility.
See what that is? That's delusion. Sonya does cook on the fire, but generally speaking, I'm doing the cooking on the fire.
Okay, I'll say this. Open fire, which is more grilling, I would say, Dakota does. But what are you talking about, Dakota? When we went to Victoria Bryant, the first time we cooked, every single meal I cooked, Dakota, the shrimp with the asparagus, the chicken, and the broccoli.
My memory don't
all
go.
those.
My memory don't go that far back. My memory only goes back 3 camping trips.
You know, I was really about to give Dakota that one, that he does most of the cooking on the open fire. And I was gonna say that I typically cook when we do pan cooking. We have a couple pans that, like old pans that we don't use anymore in our kitchen, that we'll just take out to the campsite. It's actually permanently in our camp gear right now. But we take those out, and I may saute some shrimp and peppers and onions, and it tastes absolutely amazing. Last time we were out, I made that dish, and you saw me cooking it, because again, I do most of the cooking on the fire. We're probably gonna go back and forth on this a minute now, because we both actually do quite a bit of cooking. Even in the house.
We really do. We both share the cooking.
We both share the cooking. So one of us, Dakota, may be delusion, thinking that he does more than me, but we share the cooking. You did the same thing with hamburger buns.
Yeah.
High five.
Vacuum sealed hamburger buns.
And so for camping, I prep food exactly the way I would do it if I were cooking in my own home. Because who wants to eat crappy food when they're out in the woods? I'm already out in the woods, not sleeping in my bed, so I want to eat good food. You know, a lot of people, we've been told that we do bougie camping.
Because we do.
We do. We camp consistent with the lifestyle that we lead. I think.
We're sophisticated campers.
We like to eat well, so we eat well when we go camping. Not to say that we don't eat hot dogs. We are leaving Friday, tomorrow after work, which means we have to have dinner Friday. What do you call it? Breakfast on Saturday, lunch on Saturday, dinner on Saturday, and breakfast on Sunday before we come home. We decided we're eating sandwiches for lunch on Saturday. We're not cooking because we're going to be out four-wheeling, and we don't know if we're going to get back to our campsite to cook. So we figured it would just be easiest to take stuff to make sandwiches. So really we only have to cook 2 meals. We already have 3 different meats, and Dakota wants to take another. Somebody's a little excessive.
It's camping.
But we don't want to waste it, Dakota. We don't want to have food sitting in the cooler all weekend and then it go bad. Oh, speaking of the cooler, one of the things that we do, now that I have this vacuum seal, I'm going to put it in the freezer. And that way the food can freeze and it'll last longer in the cooler. The last thing you want is your food to go bad. So, of course, it lasts longer if it's frozen. So now that the food is seasoned, we are going to freeze all of it. There's a lot of carrots. I don't even like carrots like that. Salt, pepper. Can I have some ginger and olive oil? Olive oil, just a touch to help disperse the dryness.
So there you have it. Sonia and I prepping for another camping experience. Although the menu changes, it's always the same prep work to ensure that we have a great time.
And there you have it, our food for the weekend. Bacon and cheese bagel, nice lamb steak, grilled burgers. For the burgers, we forgot the lettuce and tomato, which we would normally bring, but they turned out pretty good. We didn't have a picture of the salmon, but that in and of itself is a story.
Thanks for watching, and make sure you subscribe.